big. That's right. Fail big. You only live once, so do what you feel passionate about. Take chances. Don't be afraid to fail. There's an old IQ test, was 9 dots, and you had to draw 5 lines with a pencil within these 9 dots without lifting the pencil. The only way to do it was to go outside the box. So don't be afraid to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. So have dreams, but have goals. Life goals, yearly goals, monthly goals, daily goals. And understand that to achieve these goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. In order to achieve your goals, you must apply discipline and consistency every day, not just on Tuesday and miss a few days. You have to work at it every day. You have to plan every day. You've heard the saying, we don't plan to fail, we fail to plan. Hard work works.
Top of the morning, y'all. It's your Big Three streaming live here today. It is game day, Cowboy fans. Where are you at? It is time to tap in. It's your boy B Jizzle and my girl Kales with the intels today. How we doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah. See it looking a little bit festive over there. I know you got your fan club stuff going on today. Shout out to DC Nation fan club out there on the East Coast. Then we got my guy Bob, who's normally smoking on something. About what's the strain of the day today, Bob?
Hey, no joke. Last night, me and my wife realized we were really low. I went up and looked at the Good Chemistry menu and saw they had literally every indica I've ever loved. So I drove over there. They close at 11:45 at night. I drove over there at 10 o'clock just to pick up GMO Skittles, one of my favorite strains. Shout out to Good Chemistry, South Broadway. What's up, cannabis community? Yeah, smoking on some GMO Skittles. I want to start off this game, which I don't know what to expect. I want to start it off real low stress. I'm going to get underneath the stress bar and then eventually get over that stress bar.
All right,
so GMO Skittles is the game day strain, man, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about today's game. But it's a toss-up, man. The real issue, the scary thing that I see, it's so hard playing these teams that haven't won a game yet. They're coming out, they're going to throw everything at you. They're not going to roll. So we're getting the best of every team as we always have as Cowboy fans.
That is the fact. So shout out to everybody on 3 platforms for streaming live right now on Facebook. So shout out to everybody on Built Different Group. Make sure if you have a green badge, you get those reps in. Shout out to my girl Sarah, always leading from the front. She always leading from the front. Said, what to do, cousins? Reps are in. So if you got a green badge, you know what to do. Like and share the video. Let's grow the community here today. We got my girl Kales with the intels. We're going to be talking about the Cowboys. Who's in, who's out, who's not, who's hot. All I know is we all 3 got the Cowboys winning today, so we're going to share our keys to winning. But, Kales, what's good with the intels on any of the injuries? Because we're hearing stuff about Trayvon now, maybe not Deron or Trayvon in the backfield today. I mean, what can we expect? Are we going to see either of those guys today?
Well, Trayvon was downgraded from active to questionable yesterday evening. So that will probably more than likely be a game time decision. Of course, Deron Bland, he is out. Tyler Guyton, he's active, and Kevontae Turpin is active.
All right, and then we know Cooper Beebe is out for a minute, so I want to roll out the red carpet here for you today to talk about your guy who you've always been big up and over here, Brock Hoffman, stepping in at center today, starting behind Cooper Beebe, who is going to be out with this ankle injury. Can you tell everybody who don't know about Brock Hoffman, is it going to be a drop-off or not, or is Brock just going to be big nasty?
Definitely not. I've been around Brock. I met him, been around him. He is a menace. if there is ever a scuffle or anything, trust and believe Brock is in the middle of it.
So no expected drop off per my girl Kales with the intel. So if you've had concerns that maybe, all right, Cooper Beebe, our starting center, is going to be out, what kind of leadership is Brock going to bring? Is there going to be a drop off or not? Is it going to affect the run game, which I think is going to be imperative for the Cowboys to get going today? So any other news or any other intels that we should be aware of now that you have to tap in with us today?
Yes, I'm working on 2 iPads because my setup is kind of different.
Just all right.
Make it happen.
Yeah, make it happen. We'll get to some comments or do whatever we got to do here. Just let us know when you're ready to roll.
I'll tell you this much real quick, BG, if you want to pop up what Caitlin just said about Jalen, I think this is a great point. I wanted to point this out because, you know, what we've noticed the statistics are that Jalen hasn't thrown a touchdown yet. But
yeah, I benched him today in fantasy. I'm like, bro, come on. I got Matt Stafford in the lineup today.
And if you read what Caitlin's saying, Dak would be getting crushed online if that was his numbers at halftime. Not only that, I think it's hilarious that if at this point, if we were 2-0 and Dak had still not thrown a touchdown, Dak would have been getting killed online, like you said. He would have been getting killed. He's a garbage. But since Jalen's doing it, he's just leading his team to victory. The way, you know, this is what something I'm only saying this because as a Cowboys fan, you need to figure out how the math works against us and try not to let it get too hard and deep into you because it's going to be twisted around and used differently with other teams than it is with the Dallas Cowboys. If this was Dak Prescott without a throwing touchdown, even if it was 2-0, he would be the worst quarterback in the league right now compared to everybody else.
Like I said, I got him benched today. But go ahead, Kales. What other intels do we have for the show today?
Okay. On the practice report, Javonte Williams will be the team captain for the week against the Bears. That's basically it. The practice report is on OTAs. So I guess we can get into the news and notes for today's game with the Bears defense versus the Cowboys offense, and the Cowboys offense versus the Cowboys defense. Y'all know what I mean.
I think we got you.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess my AirDrop is not working right now. I can't get to my computer.
Javonte being captain is pretty cool. I think it's good that we can't overplay this. Just having a running game at all has been a really good thing for us. It's the only thing that is going to make this team balanced. And since we've actually got somebody that looks like they can run through a line that is not really giving the most amount of holes for a running back either. We're doing good. We're doing well. We're just not doing as well in run blocking as we are in pass protection. But to have somebody like Javonte doing what he's doing right now, even behind not the greatest run pass or the run blocking line, is amazing. And it's not really a surprise that he's a captain, man. He's been ripping off and being kind of a workhorse. A couple of runs have been really impressive by him, man. He looks like he's reinvigorated.
I agree with you 100%. If you got Javonte in your fantasy football lineup today, you should be benching him to the foreseeable future. I mean, 3 touchdowns in 2 games. I mean, this is like CeeDee Lamb said, it's great for this team to have a run game. But on the defensive side of the ball, did I hear you correctly, Kales? We're not going to have Deron or Trayvon in the backfield today?
No, Trayvon is questionable. He's going to be a game time decision. The inactives has not come out yet. It's still kind of early.
There's no way you guys didn't see a Trevon Diggs last week getting burnt by wide receivers and being unable to catch up with them as they're running away from him. That is 100% telltale of a not ready to play player from an ACL injury. And I feel like, or it could be the mental thing too, where maybe he doesn't want to push. That's part of all that, man.
Maybe Donovan Wilson didn't provide cover over the top, because after you look at that, on second thought, you see the Trayvon kind of throw his hands up like, bro, where the fuck are you at?
Right away, too.
Then it doesn't look good for nobody. But, yeah, that's what I'm asking, because I'm very concerned about Rome Odunze, who's been targeted 20 times over the first 2 games. And a lot of folks, including Vegas, are saying, you know, with this 49.5 point spread today on today's game, it's going to be a shootout between the offense of the Cowboys and the offense of the Chicago Bears. So that's why I wanted to ask Kels about this backfield situation, because we all know we're kind of banged up back there.
Yeah, so as far as with the secondary, and we're going to talk a little bit about it because I did do a compare and contrast for today's game about what happened last week. As far as, so let's look at the secondary from against the Giants. Flus played majority zone the entire time.
His entire season.
What people do not maybe don't know, or they had a lapse in memory. Trayvon Diggs is a man press coverage cornerback.
Facts.
So when he's playing out of position and basically the Giants offense and their defense was playing man coverage, Flus should have made the adjustment right there, because even though Flus is practically playing a zone defense, he should have tailored the game plan to adjust to have man press coverage.
Well, let me ask you this question, Kels. Did you see any adjustments? I mean, or was it just straight zone the whole time? Or why didn't you? I mean, if we can all see it, why do they not see it? And why, maybe from your perspective, did they not make any adjustments?
They did. So let me hold on. I gotta go to my phone. Hold on. So this is one thing that I said. I think I put it in my keys to the game. So if I end up repeating it, just let it ride.
Because, you know, a lot of people are like, why are we still, you know, that shit's not working? Because obviously Trayvon looked like he's getting burned, but it looks like no Dono help over the top. And then, you know, Khair and I mean, Malik Neighbors is Malik Neighbors, but let's just take a look at the stats, y'all. I mean, Roma Dunze targeted 20 times over the last 2 games and 3 touchdowns. So, and them looking at this secondary, this Dallas Cowboys defense, I'm like, how do we get Rome to go off early?
Yeah, so let me let's go talk about the Cowboys defense, okay? For today's game. Our defense coaches need to stop scheming up to the players, to the player adapting to their scheme. And I'm sorry, hold on, let me do that again. I'm reading my notes. Our defense coaches need to stop scheming up to the player, adapting and playing their system, and them not playing to the player's strength. And I have always said, if anybody have heard me say it before, we need to have coaches that design schemes and plays based on the talents of the players that they
play to the player's strengths. Yeah, let's develop. That just makes sense. Let's develop a play that works for your play strength.
Right. From the front, and that's from the front line to the secondary. It's setting them up to fail, and there's no reason for Donovan Wilson to play space against the Giants. He should have not played space. Yeah. So I've watched this game numerous of times this past week, almost like every day. I know
you did. That's why I said, let me see what you extracted or extrapolated from that.
Right. And then it brings me to the question, is this defense fit for what needs to be done against the Bears? You can't let coverage go in the secondary. Flus needs to design run defenses and mix up the schemes, whether it's zone, twist stunts, blitzes, single high safety, etc.
So with this high scoring offense, it's just, you know, right off the top, capability with Caleb Williams and, you know, Rome Odunze and of the like. How do you see the Cowboys making any adjustments today? I mean, I hope we don't come out in zone again today. Well, I mean, because if I'm in Chicago, I'm like, let's do the same thing that Malik Neighbors and Russell Wilson did against the Cowboys.
Well, we're going to talk about the Bears defense, so they have to do something. If I was Flus, put Donovan Donovan Wilson closer to where the edges and the linebackers are, and let him be the pressure guy. Our linebacker Kenneth Murray Jr. He is the perfect downhill pressure guy. Um, Communication needs refinement. Everyone needs to be on the same page. Line assignment is the key. Our corners has to be ready to tackle the flats if they are planning on doing a cover four. For the Bears defense, okay. Al Harris knows everything about the Cowboys receivers.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. Al Harris is currently in Chicago. For those of us that forgot or maybe failed to remember that, used to be the DB coach with the Chicago or with the Dallas Cowboys. What position is he doing? The same thing with Chicago now?
He is the defensive. He's the DB coach as well as the defensive passing game coordinator. Okay. So I'm calling this game Welcome to the Flus / Jack Sanborn / Nashawn Wright / Al Harris / Cannon Matthews revenge game.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on because nobody's really even talking about that. And the media even came at Jack Sanborn and came at Eberflus, and Eberflus essentially like, oh, I haven't really thought about it.
Right.
Hey, we can't discount.
Well, how about they thought about some zone defense?
Eberflus was the head coach of the Bears, man. I mean, we've got an advantage in terms of guys that he was there when they were drafted and stuff like that. There's a little bit of an advantage we got here, and he should know what he has to do defensively today more than any other game of the season. He should know today what we need to do defensively.
So Al Harris, when he left the Cowboys, he took Cannon Matthews with him, and he is their nickels coach. So back to the Bears defense. So their linebackers are aggressive. However, they are shooting their gaps and doing their own thing. This is a beatable defense. They're either not buying in to whatever Ben Johnson is selling, or they're just plain out confused. They will lose receivers. They are giving up 130 yards a game. They have no pass rush, and they invested heavily on defense, giving a boatload to defensive line Grady Jarrett and right edge Montez Sweat. Everyone who remembers Montez Sweat, he was with the Washington Commanders, and he is getting between 96 to 98 million. I forgot to pull up what Grady Jarrett is getting. They have a couple of players in secondary that our offense can go after. You're going to see a lot of man coverage from this defense. They play press man coverage in a 4-man rush. They don't have the star players, so you're going to see some double A gap blitz looks, and then they will do some zone. So they will do some zone.
Yo, I straight up do not recommend man-to-man press on George Pickens.
Well, I mean,
unless you are 6'5", you do not want to play that game with that guy.
Yeah, Caitlin's offering some great context down below. It says Bears defense down 2 of their top 3 corners as well. Lamb and Pickens prime. So if you got, Lamb is a no-brainer.
That's why their top corner right now is Nashawn Wright. Everyone remembers Nashawn.
Oh yeah, we drafted Nashawn Wright. Yeah.
He's serviceable.
Oh yeah. A lot of situationships between players and coaches in this upcoming game, week 3, which all of us here at the Big 3 got the Cowboys winning this week. The Cowboys win today. We're on a win streak.
Right.
Could you imagine that?
Mm-hmm.
We're going all the way, baby.
They are one of the worst teams to defend the outside runs. Their defensive end, Javon Dexter, is one to look out for. The Bears fall apart after the first 15. Right Write it. Oh, when I say I was doing some studying, I've
That
been
shit
doing
hurts to hear, though. Imagine having to spray. You have to put that out there your team. Yeah, we're bad after 15. That's terrible.
right. So
Dang.
right edge, Montez Sweat, he wears 98. He is a dude when he wants to be.
Yeah, he is.
Ade Yingbo, who wears 55, is someone to look out for. Their middle linebacker, Tremaine Edmonds, he wears number 49. He's tall, very aggressive, physical. Who's the heart of the defense. They did lose their other mid linebacker, Edwards. Um, they do get off the ball well on time and very active with their hands. The secondary will put hands on you through through the entirety of their routes. So the defense coverage wise, throughout 2 games, they have showed 2 different game plans. They played man to man with Minnesota, but in Detroit, there were more weapons and they couldn't play as aggressive. So they planned a lot of 2 high safeties. So expect a similar game plan against the Cowboys. Um, they play and plan for multiples. They run different variations of cover 2. One being the 2-man high safeties, where the outside left, which is outside leverage, where the cornerbacks sit on the outside and they try to bring the receivers in to bottle them up. So 88 and number 3 can run crossing routes all day long on this secondary.
And let me just add this in, because right now this Dallas Cowboys offense, if I'm not mistaken, is a top 5 in the NFL right now. Dak Prescott, I think, is a top 3 quarterback in passing right now, Bob. I mean, with
But
this
in
defense,
offense, they're number 3. In the offense, they're number 3.
But with this defense, especially with 2 of their 3 top people down, and you're talking about Nashawn Wright against CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. I don't know. Is GP going to have more than CD today? Let us know in the comments below, because CeeDee Lamb's been targeted more. But after last game, Pickens getting his first touchdown. And also, there was those fines that came out. If you didn't catch, both CD and George were fined for their TD celebration, which is essentially, how CD used to do the gun like this, and they kind of put it to each other's head and looked like they blew it off. And the league said, "Hey, that's unsportsmanlike. That's
violent.
That's violent related."
Actions.
And so they fined him like 14 grand, and then they also fined GP 14 grand for taking off his helmet because people were wearing. But I thought it was funny, no flags thrown, but they got fined, and now it's looking like a prime defense for Chicago. It looks like Nashawn about to get his jock strap burnt off today.
That's crazy. So the only thing I can summarize for both the Bears defense and the Cowboys defense, this is going to be the battle game of the undisciplined defense.
Yeah, I think if you look back, I think because they played Washington and Detroit the first 2 weeks, Chicago. I think if you look back and see, they ran for as many yards as they got run on them. So it's a weird statistic to look at, because that was the first thing I focused on. I was like, okay, listen, this may be a wash in a couple of categories. We'll probably win at wide receiver, but what can we do with running back? And it looks like the running backs and quarterbacks for both teams they played combined for about 120, 130 yards against them on the ground. And they did the same with a combination of Caleb and, their running back, who I believe is either not starting today or doesn't look very well.
You talking about DeAndre Swift?
Yeah.
Swift, yeah. So
yeah, I think he was questionable coming in today. So
I think now also going back to what you were saying, BG, I think what happens with the NFL players and coaches is they game plan like 1 or 2 game plans. They say, all right, look, this is how we're going to do on defense. If this shit goes down, then this is what we're going to go to. I don't know how different A and B is, but I know they probably don't have a C or a D when it comes to what are we doing? These guys are smoking us. That's why when GB beat us with Dan Quinn as our defensive coordinator, it looks like we could have done something different in the second half, and we might have, but it didn't matter because the players were so used to doing specific things that they just can't change it in the middle of a game. So I think sometimes we expect a defense to look one way and then something totally different after halftime, I think that may be an impossibility. It's a little,
Right.
it's only easier to switch up personnel to look at different things than it is to tell everyone in their head, all right, we're different now. We're stopping everything they did the first half now. Because if that was the case, they would have done it. They would have done it from the beginning. So it's hard. The game planning is tough, man. We don't know what they're doing.
Right. So to close out with our Cowboys defense, leaving out of week 2, going into week 3, the pressure rate of the Cowboys defensive lineman James Houston was 16.7%, Sam Williams 14.3%, Dante Fowler Jr. 12.2%, Marshawn Nealon 11.5%, Donovan Ezaraku 11.5%. Kenny Clark, his is kind of low. He only played 1 game with us, which was last week.
But hey, he does have a sack, and I think if I'm not mistaken, headed into today's game, I think he had the same amount of sacks almost as Michael Parsons.
So Kenny Clark and Osa Odigizua both tied with 7.3%. Solomon Thomas 4.3% because he's rotational, and Jay Toia has 0%. Let me see.
So what are the keys? What are the keys to the Cowboys winning today? I think my key is stop Rome Odunze. I mean, he's been targeted 20 times over the first 2 games. We know the secondary has questions after what we've seen Russell Wilson and Malik Neighbors do. Even though it may not have been Trayvon getting burnt, the whole defense in question. I mean, Malik torched our defense, 167 yards and 2 TDs. Rome has to be stopped. They're gonna have to figure out a way. And I think by doing that, I think the second key might be, can the front 7 get pressure on Caleb and not get beat? Because Caleb also has a rushing touchdown as well as throwing 3 touchdowns. So a lot of folks, including Vegas, like I said, the over and under is 49.5 on today's game. But let us know in the comments below what you think the key is for the Cowboys to win today. Bob, what do you think the good key is for the Cowboys to win today?
I mean, I think on both sides of the ball, we have to limit Caleb to, like you said, pressure, or at the very least staying inside the pocket, which was something that Jadeveon Clowney was really good at doing, setting the edge. So when he comes back to play for us eventually, we might have some more success on that front. But stopping and limiting Caleb, and on offense for us, run. I want to see a run established today to the point where we don't really need to worry about what those opportunistic cornerbacks of the Bears are going to do against our monster wide receivers. It would be great to see him throw all day, but if we don't need to make Dak throw 50 times, let's not make Dak throw 50 times. So that's what I'm looking for.
Well, it's great that you talk about that run, because let's listen to what Javonte Williams had to say about rather being the hammer than the nail in this Dallas Cowboys offense.
Couple runs where it looked like you went in the pile. It's like, oh, maybe it's getting a tackle. Then you escape just because you kept your feet moving. Where did that kind of mentality, I guess, come from to keep your feet moving? How easy is that for you to not stopping your feet moving?
Yeah, I really feel like it just comes from playing linebacker for so many years. Just being physical, knowing that not everybody want to tackle for the whole game. So, I mean, you just got to outlast the opponent.
When you were a linebacker, was it like, did you recognize running backs? You're like, man, I don't want to tackle that guy for that reason? Or you're like, were there things that you learned from running backs against you that you kind of use now, I guess? Tackling somebody, I'd rather be the hammer and not the nail. So tackling somebody for 4 quarters is not fun. And I know that the linebackers feel the exact same way. And I mean, everybody on defense. And then not only me, they getting blocked and everything. So they got to come off the blocks and do things like that. So, I mean, just the whole team.
Ooh, gotta like it. The Cowboys got a run game, boy.
You go back and look at that play that he's talking about too. I don't know if anybody remembers. I remember it very well because he broke out of the tackle and then sort of high stepped, which is exactly what you're trained to do in practice. To keep your legs moving, just pump your legs. It was an unnecessary movement because he had already broken out, but you can tell it was his mind saying to him, move your legs, move your legs, move your legs. Because once he did that, he broke to the outside and had that big run. So it's actually pretty interesting to see. It was interesting to see him and his mentality kind of unfold right in front of me, because he didn't need to do that pump your legs high step. He had already done it, but his brain was telling him, move your legs, move your legs. That's a hardcore running back right there, man. That's big. That could be real big for us, man.
Yeah. And I'm gonna do my keys to the game after. Let me knock out this offense real quick. So speaking
of the offense, got a little clip here that I wanted to add. Yeah, I'm trying to highlight your boo. Isn't Brock one of your? He's one of your boos, right?
He's not one of my boos.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, but I know you like him. You was talking about
Here's Forward Star Telegram. Brock Hoffman's play temperament, demeanor, it's obviously high. Was there a moment in OTAs or training camp that he got a little hot and it caught you by surprise or anything similar?
Definitely didn't catch me by surprise. Yeah, no, I mean he gets upset and he definitely competes. But what I like about his intensity is it's generally about the entire group maybe making mental errors or something like that. So he's got there's a lot of leadership qualities that he has to him, and that's certainly one of them. Is he demands the best out of himself and he demands the best out of his teammates.
And he talks trash. He don't.
Yeah.
You want to have a dog. You want that on the offensive line.
Don't expect a drop off at center with Cooper Beebe being out over the next 6 to 8 weeks, but we'll see how this run game starts out. What's your keys, Kales?
So for the Bears offense, Ben Johnson can design runs. There is poor communication on the offensive line, and they do have a lot of false starts. They have they have the most offensive penalties. They do play behind the sticks. So speaking,
the Bears are third in the league right now in penalties.
Yeah. Speaking of Caleb Williams, he can make something out of nothing. I give him that. He can use his legs without scrambling. He can throw off platforms, and he can run the ball if pressured. He can make 6 conversions. He does have the ability to diagnose the defense. He does a lot of torting with his body. However, if he is off his square, he panics very easily. He will abandon the pocket if he has to. He could spin in and out of a sack. Caleb is having difficulty being patient enough in the pocket. For this game, they are going to get into a 10 or 12 personnel. Their tight ends really haven't been involved, but that may change because Loveland Colston, who is their 2025 rookie draft pick, has been listed as their TE starter. They run vertical routes. They have they do have a great receiver core. We talked about Rome Odunze, who is their best threat.
He's been targeted 20 times over the last 2 games. Yeah.
Right. And their wide receiver, DJ Moore, he is great at motion.
Oh, he's a great number 2 receiver also.
Yeah. Their running back, DeAndre Swift, his north and south isn't great, but he is fast. In Chicago, he's doing something that is not natural to him. He's great in space and bouncing to the outside. However, he's not great at doing the dirty work and the heavy lifting. Just like Caleb, he can be a threat if the pocket collapses. Their tackles are their weaker unit. Their left tackle, Braxton Jones, is very easy to get to. They run these routes starting in bunch formations, condensed splits, and it makes you keep your outside leverage, which is the 12 personnel. They also do in routes, digs, seam routes, options, and crossers. They will run the ball on the edges. For the Cowboys offense, if there is a scuffle, just know that Brock is involved. He is a scrappy menace and has no problem tossing you out the club.
Well, we don't need no penalties. I mean, we got 16 on the season as well. So
the thing is, when he has done that, he has not caused a penalty. Yeah. And if anybody has, that's what I'm saying. Watch film and tape is very important, because I'm tired of seeing people on posts and like, what is Brock going to do? We don't. He has.
Who you talking about? You talking about me?
I'm talking about everybody I saw.
You talking about me? I posted that.
I'm talking to you, and I'm talking to 4 other people that I've seen that. So I'm calling all of y'all out.
All right. Don't let Brock fall around and fuck up today, Kels. I'm gonna come for you after this game, girl.
Brock has played center maybe 2 or 3 games, but when Zach Martin was out, he has played mostly right guard starting when Zach Martin was out. So he is a hybrid position player that we have on the team. He plays guard and he plays center. In my opinion, I think he's a better center than he is guard. But he will still toss you out the club. Oh, wait a minute. Then active players just came out. So you have to run the ball against the Bears front 4. Our offense is physically better at running the ball. If I was Shoddy or Clayton Adams, play a bastard front scheme. Run trap or do counter schemes. There are our offense is one of the top teams when attacking the edges. They have proven that they can move zeros off the football, which is a head up technique to move the Bears defensive end Javon Dexter off the ball. Run the ball first to set up play action and then whoop them downfield play action. And I always say play action matters. Match up their linebacker Noah Sewell, who is the brother of Penn Sewell in Detroit, one-on-one to do some damage. It's better to match Pickens up with their cornerback Nashawn Wright. Because Pickens going to gas it.
I got the Cowboys 34-14. That is 48. The over-under is 49.5. That's my prediction. I've shared my keys here today. I don't know, Bob, what's your prediction? Because I know we all got them winning today, but I got them 34-14. Leave us your comments down below with your predictions in the comments.
35-14.
Hey, great minds think alike. Bob on the under 2 at 49.
Yeah, I'm not pulling the prices right on you. That was literally what I had down there. I'm not trying to one up you by 1 point. We ain't winning nothing on other than prize.
We all got to win. I was just curious. Kales, what's your score prediction?
Crazy.
With your Brock Hoffman.
Oh, by the way, that was Dallas winning. People say I pick against Dallas too much, so I had to put that out there.
Hey man, I had 10-7. You had 11-6. I mean, Kales, I think yours was 10-7 too, right? Something like that for the yearly predictions.
Like 8-9, 9-8. But here's some Dak news for this. Dak has.
Oh, we don't get a Kales score prediction.
I'm gonna give you one. I'm still thinking about it.
Oh, okay.
Dak has a great history playing against the blitz, but this will possibly be a game to keep him clean. Don't mean to rain, if you get it, rain Dak Prescott, rain on the parade. Dak has not had a ton of success with their defensive coach, Dennis Allen. They have faced off 4 times in their careers, most recently 2024 season, week 2, 44-19 lost against the Saints, where Dak had 1 passing touchdown, 2 interceptions, 3 sacks, taking for Dak in matchup. Put the Bears in a position where they have to match up with our offense. So my keys to the game is Flus needs to get out of his comfort level and adjust. Do not overcoach this game because you want to win this game, because the Bears is very desperate right now. Just call, scheme, and execute the game. Shoddy needs to put his guys in motion. Allow their right edge, Montez Sweats, to hit 3-step drops and block him. Keep that clean. Do not play down this game. Frazzle Caleb, keep him contained. Make him a pocket passer with pressure in his face. This game is going to be very physical on both sides of the ball, and it is going to be a shootout. It is going to be a shootout.
Yeah, the Cowboys are averaging 32 points a game right now.
Right. It's going to come down to the final possessions in the fourth quarter. So,
man, if we play in Chicago close in the fourth quarter, we got bigger fish to fry in Frisco.
Exactly.
We got bigger fish to fry. Now, I understand Russell Wilson, but Caleb in this Chicago, I know you said desperate. Oh, I hope we ain't in the fourth quarter trying to duke it out with the Bears. They should wipe them up by the first half. What's your prediction? Did you get your prediction ready yet?
I'm getting ready to give it now. So Tom Brady and Burkhardt will be calling this game. I want to give it a 40 burger, but I don't think it's going to get to that. It's going to come down to 37-35. And I think
35 points on this defense, huh?
I think Dak Prescott will be the one to put the nail in the coffin with the touchdown that will bring it to 37.
Damn, Kale's got us going to the wire. 37-35. That's 72 points. That's the over. Bob and I got us on the under. Let us know your predictions down in the comments below. Everybody's expecting it for it to be a shootout because I'm seeing everything everywhere. People saying start Rome, start CD, start Pickens, start Turpin, start everybody in the Cowboys Chicago game because they're going to score a lot of points. Maybe Kales is on to something, but we'll be here live after the post game for the post game show to examine these predictions.
And I do have a question for the game. Is Javonte Williams the first running back to wear number 33 since Tony Romo? I mean, not Tony Romo, Tony Dorsett.
I want to say no, but I don't remember who it might have been.
Did you first running back or player?
First running back to wear.
Running back. Yeah. I would say first running back.
I would probably say yes. I think he might be.
Because the only running back I ever known to wear 33 in Cowboys history is Tony Dorsett. So Javonte
where are all our experts out there? Where's our True Blue crew at? Where's Colonel Bill Quinn and those guys at? Let us know.
And listen, there's also a reason why underneath my name I put still unsure of Dallas's identity because I don't know what to expect. I think if we have to every week go by how we did last week, then we have to expect Chicago to put 35 points up on us because that's
especially if Deron Bland and Trayvon Diggs, which is questionable. We don't know.
The only thing we can hope is those young cornerbacks that are popping up are going to be like, all right, man, I'm not getting done in by these dudes. That's all you can hope for when it comes to these young, but we don't have an identity yet. That's why I said the key today has to be run, because if we want to do anything effectively through the air, we need to make sure that our running game is a threat in some way, shape, or form. And I think Javonte's on his way to showing that he can.
I think this offense is ranked number 3 in air yardage right now too as well. Kels, you had something to add?
The inactive list because when we was talking, it came out. So Jaden Blue, Deron Bland,
Jaden Blue again.
Clowning is inactive. Which
we have been hearing over the last couple of days. He's probably not going to play. So
because he has to get acclimated with the system. Shamar James, Ajani Cornelius, Trevor Keegan, and Jay Toia, which I think Mozzie Smith might be in.
Weird. It's weird that Jaden Blue is a game 3 non-suited. I mean, what's going on? You got any intels on it? Or I mean, because we keep hearing that this vague broad stroke leadership and not 100% or whatever you want to call it.
It has nothing to do with leadership. I think it's just the playbook. It's the playbook.
He's not picking up.
He doesn't know it yet. He doesn't have it yet.
He doesn't have it yet. It's the playbook.
Not at all. Which is, again, look,
we talked about that in I think week 1 or week 2.
And that's all right, right? I mean, look, here's the thing. The problem with I think us as a country is so expected to have instant gratification and results. That doesn't work. I think it's actually okay to give Jaden Blue a freaking year to absorb the system and see what he needs to do and then see what he can do. We're so used to getting some kid out of college and throwing him in the system and going, he ain't ready. Well, no, he ain't freaking ready. He's been playing college for the last few years. I mean, I think it's smarter to do it this way anyway, regardless of whether he's picking it up or not. Doesn't really matter. It maybe the speed of which he's not picking it up is an issue. That could be a problem, but he's a rookie, man. Let's let him rookie for a little bit, and then maybe he turns around because you know, I'm kind of sick of seeing these kids thrust into the spotlight and then getting pissed on when they fail.
Well, we kind of did this to ourselves. Our fan base and all the media was
Yeah.
hyping. They all drunk the blue Kool-Aid, which I told y'all to watch out for. But here's an answer down here for you, Kel. Says Sterling, our Gym Rat of the month for August, says Williams is only other one to wear 33. So great call out, great answer, Sterling. Thank you for participating. If you don't know who Sterling is, just take a look at the profile pic on BDG.
I've been giving some deep questions and everything and let people ponder that. But
and that's a weird one too, because that could be a defensive number as well. You know, that it's a weird one. You know, that's a good question. I never thought about that. I think most of the running backs had twos in their number.
Even on defense, I haven't seen 33, and I do know, like, you know, because the Cowboys don't retire numbers, they're just certain numbers that they just don't give out, and I think 33 is one of them. But as far as with Jaden Blue, I think because he has such a good OTA, mini camp, training camp, and preseason, I think the one preseason game he played in, and that was against the Ravens. No, I'm sorry, Atlanta. People was ready for him week 1, but people failed to realize that he was playing off of a Flus vanilla playbook that we are not seeing in the regular season. And I really don't know if we're actually seeing the Flus playbook, because, and I'm surprised, and I'm very surprised and shocked, and I'm underwhelmed of what I'm seeing with Flus, because I do remember Flus when he was with us before, because Flus is the reason why we have a Sean Lee, a DeMarcus Ware, a Tank, because I think Flus was there with Tank when Tank came in, and a Jalen Smith.
All right. So 37-35 is your prediction. 34-14 is mine. 35-14 is my guy Bob's. I mean, his 11-6 this season. I'm 10-7. So I guess the apples didn't fall too far from the tree with us. But make sure if you watch this after the fact, leave your predictions down in the comments below. I will be live on Built Different Group for the halftime tap in. We will be live, as you see it's scrolling across the bottom. Our big three will be live for the post game show. You'll be available too, Kels. I think you'll be out there with your club. Are you gonna be on location?
Yeah, but I'll bring my iPad.
Okay. Cool beans. So make sure you tune in directly after the game, because no matter the outcome, even though all of us got the Cowboys winning today, we've seen crazier things happen in this league today. Make sure and tune back in at halftime. We gave you our keys to win. The Cowboys, it's going to be a shutout, or maybe this front seven can get some identity today or something. I don't know. But y'all tune in after the show, and we'll talk about it either way. We'll see y'all in the gym on the next episode.
Turn out the lights. The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.